This list of things that stop 95% of all private investigators from ever conducting surveillance will seriously surprise you. But the biggest surprise is what the 95% are missing out on by never conducting surveillance, and I will let you in on that little secret here in a moment. The first biggest reason most PIs never consider doing surveillance is the stigmatism attached to doing the job. When most people think of doing surveillance, they get images like this in their mind. Thoughts of sitting in a steaming hot car, sweating to death all day, every day, with little to no reward. But the truth be known, folks, surveillance oftentimes is nowhere near as painful as it is portrayed. I know. I have videos out there where I speak a lot about those long, miserable 10-hour days sitting inside a tin oven, but not all cases are that way, to be sure. Another reason many PIs do not ever do surveillance is due to the investment required in proper equipment. Most people think every surveillance investigator out there has a ton of cameras, one for every type of investigation and every scenario they will ever run into. But the cold, hard fact of the matter is that most surveillance investigators have a minimal investment in a few pieces of quality equipment. But quality, folks, does not have to be expensive. I am still using my Panasonic HCV 180, which I bought many years ago, and you know what? I use that same camera to record my videos right here on the channel too. If you are interested in seeing some of my equipment that I use, I will leave a link down below to my official PI Guide Gear page. My video camera is full HD, but it is not 4K. In fact, I don't recommend a 4K camera for surveillance, or if someone is using a 4K capable camera, I recommend to output it to 1080p for the sake of your clients. 4K video is awesome if you are trying to shoot professional quality video, but the truth be known, you will see little to no difference between 4K and 1080p when it comes to surveillance video. I highly doubt any of your clients will have a 4K monitor to watch it on, and I highly doubt the courtroom will have a 4K monitor for the judge and the jury to watch it on, and I highly doubt most attorneys have a computer capable of playing back true 4K. So the myth of needing a ton of expensive equipment is simply not true. You can get by with any good 1080p video camera that shoots 60 frames per second, and even a good used one will do. Then there is the worry about health risks that many private investigators have, which keep them from ever considering doing surveillance. And this worry is not unfounded. It is something to consider, but if you just take necessary steps and precautions, you can mitigate that risk considerably. The biggest risk for me is probably the thought of getting blood clots from sitting so long in one place. And if you do a lot of long surveillance days back to back, day in and day out, like I used to do when I first got started, then the risk is even higher. But the simple solution to mitigating this risk is to ensure you are seated in a position where you can move around, stretch your legs, and stay comfortable and not in one position for long periods of time. Sitting in the back seat is often a good way to do this. Back there, you can stretch out, relax, be a little more comfortable, as well be a lot more covert and hidden while doing surveillance. Difficulties in following the subject is another huge fear that keeps many a PI from ever doing surveillance. And there are some tricks to following people, but a lot of this is simply OJT, on the job training. You'll learn from your mistakes, folks, and you can watch my surveillance training videos here on the channel too. I have also found over the many years I have been doing surveillance that the follow is not near as difficult as you may fear for most cases. Most of the time, the subject is never aware of their surroundings. They never suspect anyone is watching them, and barring you doing anything crazy during the follow, they will never take notice. Which leads me to the surveillance vehicle itself. So many people think they need a special vehicle, a separate surveillance car, and oftentimes they believe they need two cars to be effective doing surveillance. This simply is not the case, folks. Just about any vehicle will work for surveillance as long as it does not stand out too much. So keep it simple, folks. You don't need expensive, flashy, or super fast cars to do surveillance in. In fact, the best car for you to do surveillance in is often the car you already have. I use my regular car for surveillance. I just have tinted windows on it. Then there is the fear of needing to invest thousands on special gadgets, special covert spy cameras, and all that jazz. Now, of course, having some of these things is really nice, but definitely not necessary when you first start out. Again, if you want to see some of the gadgets I use, then check out that link below for my official PI Guy gear page. But for the most part, what you really need is your main camera, a good tripod or monopod to put the camera on, a battery pack to help keep your camera charged or just a spare battery for your camera, a sunscreen to put on the windshield, and a computer to edit your videos and write your reports. You notice I never said you need a covert spy camera. They are nice to have. But the truth is you can often use your cell phone. Or what I did when I first got started, I carried my regular camera with me in a little bag or a fanny pack. But in today's day and age, everyone has their cell phone out doing something, so no one ever notices you when you pull it up and start looking at it. Just practice with it so you know how to run your camera properly on the cell phone. And while we are on the technology subject, let's discuss the computer you need to be a surveillance investigator. Much like the best surveillance vehicle is oftentimes the vehicle you already have, well, the best computer is oftentimes the one you already have. You don't need a super powerful, high-speed, 1,000-core computer, folks. My computer I use is a 9-year-old i7 quad-core that I upgraded to 32 gig of RAM, and I stuck a 1 terabyte SSD drive in it. But even those upgrades were not necessary. It worked fine as it was when I bought it, used about 3 years ago. You don't need super expensive software either. You can use Windows Movie Maker or DaVinci Resolve, the free version, which is absolutely amazing, folks. That is what I use for all of my PI Guy video editing. Yes, the free version. For my surveillance videos, though, I use IVE, or Investigation Video Editor, which takes a lot of the work out of editing video for you. It takes out the audio, it syncs everything in time, it adds a date timestamp, and it is super simple to use, and it costs as little as $76 a year or $7 a month. And it is made just for private investigators. And the biggest thing all the PIs out there who are not doing surveillance are missing out on is the money, folks. You can make good money as a surveillance investigator, and you don't have to kill yourself doing it. Most PIs doing surveillance are making upwards of $75,000 to $150,000 a year, sometimes as a full-time surveillance investigator, and some are doing surveillance as filler work when their main work declines. If you want to know the easy way to make $400 a day as a surveillance investigator, then you want to check out this video I just made.